Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is the crypto flight edition of this channel. I'm your fellow passenger. I'll be joining you guys here on this daily BTC price analysis. We do this every single day. If you're just joining us, be sure to consider subscribing as we go along with the content here if you find it interesting. My new loyal subscribers, welcome back on in here, guys, and welcome my new subscribers. Guys, let's get into the BTC price analysis. This is the perfect time to come out with this video because we actually just closed a 3 days candle. Okay, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna go over the daily, where I see or potentially BTC headed over the next 24 hours. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna possibly go up to the weekly. I think we still got a little bit more time for the weekly to close, but this is some pretty interesting stuff now that the 3 day has closed. So this is a very important level for BTC. It could go one of two. It can go either way. It could still continue the momentum to the upside over the next 3 days. It could get very bearish here as well. So be mindful of that if you're going long at these levels. And yeah, let's just not waste any time. Let's just dive right into the charts here, guys, shall we? All right, so today's November the 7th, 2020. The price of BTC is currently $14,780, fluctuating there, down about 0.3% for the day. Okay. All right, so some pretty interesting stuff here going on in BTC. The first thing is I'm noticing the amount of volume that just came in on the 3 day. This is a little bit, it's interesting for me here because one of two things is going to happen. BTC actually needs to hang around this level right here at about $14,840. It must continue to fight and push, because if BTC loses that line and it kind of, dumps off, then we're probably going to shift the trend here and the thing's going to probably start going down. But we just opened this candle. We got a little bit of a red showing, which is actually good, believe it or not. It gives BTC the chance to just kind of gather up some momentum and just kind of blast off to the upside. But this was a very extreme selling interest above this green candle. I'm sorry, this 3 day candle, I'll be honest, guys. So let's just take, if we take a measured move, it's probably like 10% down from that top of that wick there. So it is very, very essential that, or critical, whichever one you want to label it as, that BTC, actually it's about 7%, actually, that wick, by the way, that BTC continues the trend up from here, because let's pull up the Bollinger Bands here. Take a look at those Bollinger Bands. Volume, get rid of that. All right, so we're still just kind of hugging the top of that Bollinger Band, the top of the lip of that Bollinger Band. Looks like the bottom lip is trying to start closing. It's not really opening up how I would like to see it, but the top one is definitely stretching out open. That's interesting to see. Let's see here. So I guess we're back within the Bollinger Band here on the weekly. This isn't an ideal set. I'll be honest. This is not an ideal setup for the bullish case to continue the trend up. I'll say that. But let's just go ahead on down to the daily, see if we see anything else. All right. So we got the daily there. All right. The way this is setting up here, let's take a look at the volume. Okay. So as far as what I can see, and again, I could be wrong about this, guys, but I'm seeing that the potential level for this thing to at least go down to and test to verify that everything is fine, no need to panic, is the $14,000 level here, represented at this green line. Okay. Currently, I'm against BTC. I'd like to close it out, but BTC has to show me that it wants to turn this thing around here. I'll say this: if the daily can manage to push as high as 15,500 or 15,600 and potentially get some sort of rejection there, or even continue the trend to the upside, that would be really nice. That would basically mean that, again, we're up against a move that it's hard for me to even fathom how high this thing is going to go. But that is just, of course, speculation right now, because we got a really nice retracement in the market. I think it was probably a total of 10%. If we measure it on the daily here. So wick to wick, down about 10%. Nothing to, lose your shirt over. It's just a normal correction and an uptrend. That's fine. But again, I think I said this on the previous video, guys. The Bollinger Bands are just, they're continuing to go up on the daily here, and that's not the bullish case scenario for an aggressive move to the upside. Again, I know the 3-day and the weekly are opening, but I'd like to see the daily kind of catch up with them at least at some point, or at least have the Bollinger Bands here create a tight range. Maybe BTC, just take a break, let the altcoins actually catch up to the price, because sideways consolidation is always fantastic for the altcoins. So you never know, maybe we'll get something like that. We'll be trapped within these two lines, 14,000 up to 14,800. That's a possibility. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here. And I know in the previous video I was saying that I would go extremely short on BTC if it were to close near 14,800. It actually closed near 14,800. So what am I going to do now? Well, I'm actually going to backpedal a little bit. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I'm not going to go short on BTC right here. Okay, so remember, guys, this is educational information. I'm still learning this stuff. I'm still somewhat new to it, right? So please don't take what I say as set in stone, as financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, okay? So as much as the markets change, I'm going to change my mind along with the markets. I'm definitely not going to go, balls deep short here. But honestly, I actually do have a position open against BTC near the upper wick of this thing here. But I'm not interested in closing it just yet until I can see certain things play out in the charts. For those of you just joining us, we don't go lower than the 12-hour, which I would like to pull up because I think there's some information down there where, it's suggesting that the price actually wants to go up, guys. I'm going to stick by what I said on the previous video, okay? The price wants to move higher. It really does, especially what I'm looking at here on the 12-hour. It looks like the point of control, although I did say 14,000, it still make it down to 14,000, but even a little bit lower. But it must result in a wick only, and there must be volume, a substantial volume on that move as well. So we just gotta wait and see how that plays out, guys. But from the 12-hour, it looks like we may be hanging around this $14,800 level, even push higher up to the previous highs of about $15,500. That's a possibility. So we'll just keep our eyes on that. This 3-day, I really don't like this 3-day. I'll be honest. The way it closed, I won't say I don't like it, but this thing really has to literally take out the highs in 3 days. And the highs are at about almost $16,000. So you're talking about another increase of BTC over the next 3 days of about 7-8% to the upside. So, I mean, that's not something that BTC hasn't done before. So, I mean, keep that in mind. And we got about, 23 hours to close on the weekly. Wow, things are getting really interesting. I love to see these higher time frames close because that's normally when you see the most volatility, as you've just witnessed in the market here with this 3-day close over the past less than 24 hours. Had a really nice push down of about 10% to the downside. And taking a look at the Bollinger Bands, the price is still outside of the Bollinger Bands on the weekly. Oh man, this thing BTC is just really going to the upside here. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was another 5 or 4% correction in the market here over the next, let's say, less than 23 hours. Now that would actually be pretty interesting because I would probably anticipate a very aggressive move to the downside, guys. And the only reason why is because of the volume, first of all, and the weekly candle here, and the way that the actual candle would be displayed on the chart. It'd be kind of like a dragonfly gravestone doji or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it would definitely be a reversal candle. Now, if this thing closes below $13,800, God, so help me God, we're probably going to have to scratch off that $16,000 to $18,000 price prediction that I was saying that could happen in the year 2020. We may have to scratch that out because if BTC closes below $13,800, I mean, the move down would probably be at least a minimum of $10,000 or $11,000 a retracement. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you're still loading up on BTC at the current levels. Just be mindful and have a plan. If you're if you guys are taking short-term plays in the market here. So Yeah, again, although I went against what I said about going balls deep short on BTC, again, I'm already in the market, so there's no need to add if I have a really nice position. But we may have to experience a little bit more downwards pressure. The only thing I hope BTC does not do is close below $13,800. Man, that's going to be really bad for BTC, guys. And that, again, that's just my opinion. I don't mean to spread any FUD, but we still have not had a back test on the weekly. We got a back test on the 3-day. For those of you just joining us, we pay attention to the purple line here that you can see on the chart. And we were just expecting to see some sort of back test on the weekly at least, okay? And the weekly, the back test, if it were to happen, like, I don't know, next week or this week, hopefully not this week, God no. The next week candle, which starts on November the 9th, that's going to be at, the purple line is currently at about $12,200, okay? I know that's a pretty substantial move from actually the top there. That's going to be 23% correction. Again, guys, you have to expect retracements and corrections in the markets, okay? Especially in a very aggressive uptrend. Again, I've said it many times, BTC has been in a beautiful uptrend ever since March. And these are, again, the weekly candles here. So ever since March, this thing has probably gone up like, I don't know, 300%, guys. So, I mean, to get back 20% in the market after a 300% move to the upside ever since March, I mean, come on. You should be able to spare that, depending on where you got in, right? Hopefully you weren't getting bullish over the past 2 days. That wouldn't be ideal buy-in for you, at least. But BTC overall is very bullish. Okay, I don't want to sound bearish on BTC. So, yeah, let's just wait and see over the next 24 hours how this thing plays out. I'm going to expect to see BTC hold $14,000 in the worst case scenario to continue the trend to the upside. That must happen, and it needs to happen soon. Sideways consolidation is always a good idea in my book, at least. So that's what I'm seeing here, guys. I guess let me just leave you what I think is going to happen over the next 24 hours. And this wasn't even the so 14.8 is where we're currently at. 14.796 flush away in there. So in the previous video, we had a box here, and it was probably somewhere around here, somewhere like this, okay? So we identified this reversal candle on the daily here. Reversal candle here. But we were saying, well, I was saying that the volume was expecting this thing to go higher. Can it still go higher? Obviously, yeah. I mean, it just made a higher low. So in this case, as long as the $14,000 level is respected, possibly even wick lower than that and close above 14,000, then the trend still has potential to move higher. How long would it take is obviously the question the answer I'm not sure about. But yeah, I can't really put a time on it, guys. So we just have to wait and see. The Bollinger Bands on the daily, it's really like getting annoying at this point. I mean, just let the thing catch up. I guess BTC just needs to slow down just a bit and probably just get trapped within these two levels here and just sideways consolidation, you know. Again, that'll let the altcoins have a nice little boost up, right? That'll be nice for those of you holding altcoins. And that's basically what I'm seeing here, guys. 14,000 as a potential, if we get more downwards pressure in the market, 14,000 may save the day. 13.7 resulting in a wick only. But again, if the candle's bodies close above 14,000, then everything should be fine, should be in the operative word, to continue the momentum to the upside. Don't be surprised if the bottom level of this range here finds resistance and it continues lower. That bottom range is going to be at about $15,100. So that's possible. And I mean, the thing could get really bullish right here. I mean, look, we're already starting to move to the upside. We're trying to move to the upside. And I like to see the sell orders clear all the way up to $15,600. That would be an ideal setup to continue the trend higher. That would be nice. So that's what I got, guys. 14,000 bodies close above that level as an extreme low. 14.8 looks to be an interesting level of support. Will it hold? I'm not sure. We just got to let 24 hours pass, see if it's going to. And at least a clearance of the sell orders overhead at 15.5 within 24 hours would be really nice. Up to 48 hours. That would be a confirmed sign that the price wants to move higher. And that's basically all I got for you guys today. Be sure to leave an appropriate thumb just below the video there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. This price is going to the moon. It's never going to stop. I mean, leave those comments down below as well, guys. It's Napoleon Macro. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to subscribe so you can get the daily updates as we come out with these videos every single day. And that's pretty much it. Click the video on the screen. Make sure we're staying consistent with our thesis. And, of course, leave a comment as necessary if I was accurate or inaccurate. That's it, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. And be sure to take care of yourselves. Have a good day.